So today we'll start with basic how curves work, how channel mixer works, how camera raw works, how your curves work. We'll work on it. First, we'll do a test of white balance. How can you adjust white balance very quickly? So let me take an image. So is the image visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So whenever we want to do, suppose this has a yellow cast. So how to take an average reading and then use the curves to manage the white balance. So first we take a blank layer, put gray, white or black, any given color. Let's then go to edit, fill, 50% gray, and change the blending mode to difference. Okay. Then we'll go to thresholds. And thresholds is a point which will show the blacks and whites, clusters of blacks and whites in your image for a reference point to adjust any given image. So when we will see to the threshold, we will try to put out, like right now we are all brighten out. We will try to pull and bring a cluster of black colors, because black colors, a cluster of black colors in the image to get a reference for a white balance. So right now you can see there is a little cluster of. Can you see these clusters? Can you see these clusters like this?
Yes, sir.
Clusters. You can make a cluster of the image. Don't go too much. A basic cluster which has a nice cluster area, like this has a nice cluster area for you to check the white balance. Now we'll go to eyedropper tool, pick color sampler. Okay, and just with the point tool, I click on a cluster, black cluster, and sample that area. You can see already a sample is there. Switch off these two. Just go to curves. Take the gray point. The second point is the gray point, and click on the sampled area. You will see there is a calculation given to you with the RGB chart. Now we can go easily to the red charts. As we know, the intense of cyan is little more there. We can pull down here, and we can go to the blue chart. As the blue intensity is there, we can drop it down. As blue is more towards yellow, so we'll see to the green chart. A little work now on the blue chart. So can you see the difference? The casting is gone.
Yes, sir.
So is it clear, or shall I repeat it once again?
Sir, once again.
Okay, fine. First and foremost, we will take a blank layer. Don't put it with any colors, only white, black and grey. Okay. See, why I am telling you, as it is white, you can see all RGB are the same. Got it? As it is in black, all RGB are in 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. As it is in grey, all the numbers of RGB are same. So this number should always be same. Got my point? See, now if I change to other colors, you will see the numbers of RGB changing. So we want a proper reference point which has all the colors, and the saturation should be always 0. So best option is go with a white or a black. Black, best, it puts everything in 0. The hue is only the hue of the color which are there. Then we will go to adjustment. edit, fill. Fill you will have like this, go to 50% gray, mode will be normal, opacity will be 100, click OK. Then we will change the blending mode to difference. Like we had already taken a color sampler, the sampler is there. To remove the sampler, go to color sampler, clear, press clear in the color sampler, the sample will get removed. Okay, so now we have a color sampler over here. Just put it in difference, as difference will try to pull up the opposite color of the negative color. Okay, here we understand what is the negative color, what's the color of uh, what's the color of the hairs. It's black, so we are getting white over here. Okay, it's yellow, so we are getting magenta over here, magenta blue, or it's green magenta. Now you can understand the difference. It's just crossover in the colors in difference. It's bringing more towards the negative mode for you. As there is a presence of black there, so we are finding it is a whitish gray color. And here there are colors which are opposite to the given colors. Like if we invert the image, more or less we will try to get this in this format, but in difference it will try to show the color difference in you, color opposite color difference in you. Okay, so next after that we go to threshold. In threshold we try to bring a cluster of colors for reference of our white balance. Bring it till a point where it breaks up and starts bringing them in lines of clusters. Like 27 is sufficient for this. Okay, now I have a cluster over here, cluster over here. Let's see with something different of a cluster. Okay, now we go to color sampler and pick up a color from here, from this cluster. The point sample should be, the sampler should be point sample, not average. There is other things average, we should keep it in point sample. Now we remove this. Now we remove this. Go to curves. Just take the gray curve and the sample that we have made, we first try to hit there. See, it has given you an average reading and an average white balance also. Now you can change a little if you want to. So can you see the difference now? So this is how we can easily correct white balance casting. White balance casting. Now let me show you one more image. See, suppose this is an image. It has a heavy cast. Understand one thing, it has a heavy cast. It has various color shift. So it will try to match which is nearest to the skin color. Okay, we do the same process. Take a blank layer, put the any solid color, black, gray or white. Change it to 50% gray. Go to threshold. Go to difference first. Then go to threshold and try to pull out a cluster. This has a favorable cluster with us. Like this sample is a cluster, nice cluster work with. We can go to eyedropper tool, color sampler, and we sample this color. Switch both off. Let's go to curves and simply take the second, the gray point. Can you see the difference now? All the red is gone now. Now, one basic thing that you can do, take this, now you can clear the color sampler, go to eyedropper tool, take an average blur of 5:5 and just click on the proper, delete this layers, click on a, delete the two layers and click on a proper skin tone according to your choice. Now I have an average sample of that area. Now we can go to solid color and use that color. Let's go to above this. Let's go to solid color above the corrected layer. Okay, now we have a solid color. Now change this blending mode to hue. It will try to bring out hue or saturation. See to it. If we go to hue, it will try to give you a basic out color. Now paint over the skin areas that you want. Or you can change the blending mode to color also. See. And just reduce the fill a little. If fill is not working fine, reduce the opacity a little. So this is how, can you see the difference now? So this is how we try to balance out our image with threshold, difference, threshold and curves. Any doubts about this?
Sir,
Yeah,
yesterday you have shown an image, a group photo where the YOLO casting is there. Can you please show this?
That has no information in there. I will show you in that also. It has no information here. Okay. It has no information here, but it won't restrain that much color. First of all, I will do it that also. See. Sorry, I've taken levels. See, as the image doesn't have any information, it will drastically change because already you have to understand one thing. It has no information, it has been taken bluntly in light. For this kind of an image, we simply can one do, after we're getting the base color, we will just have to adjust the areas of color which is very high intense because it has various clipping points to work with. And you see, the blacks have been retained. Okay. Now, so this is the optimum limit, the information of that particular image it can pull out. Got it? It has removed the red cast. Understand, we are talking about casting. You won't bring out actual colors from it because it has a red cast. You can see over here, it has removed the red cast totally. If the ambience is present yellow over there, then you have only simple one option. To fill a color with the opposite color or go with the photo filter. Take it to blue and pull it. No. So got it? From this we have attained this. Now it's all. Now if you want to enhance the image, go to curves, go to screen. It will enhance the image. Now you can reduce the fill and opacity a little. Yeah. So this is how, if it's a heavily casted with no basic, it's not basic, it's not, this image is not a problem of color casting. It's a problem of exposure color casting. The exposure is also not taken right because you can easily see their eyes, everything are in shadow. Got it? In basic, if there is a well lit up image in basic color casting, I will show you one more image. Let's not wait. Like this image is a basic cast of yellow. It's a cast. It's not actual skin tones. Let me take one more reference. I don't more casting. Can you see the image of the girl, little girl? Hmm? Can you see this image of the little girl?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to understand one thing. Exposure, if the exposure is not correct, it will only remove the cast. It won't correct the exposure. Because in this image, it has ample amount of shadows, highlights properly lit up. Now see, we'll go with color black, fill 50% gray, threshold. So can see the difference now? So this is how we do the basic color casting removal. The photo should have some information to work with. If it doesn't have any information to work with, it won't produce. Any doubts about it?
No, sir.
So let's do a basic color grading. How we can do a basic color grading? Just using the curves, points of curves. We take curve, we go to a specific color channel and try to pick up a, we go to white point, the topmost point is, and we try to pick out a proper white point for it. No, it's black point, sorry, white point. Now you can see the change in the exposure now slowly changing. And if you take the mid-tone gray points, it will try to give you a kind of a grading. If we take a gray point. So this is one way to just to put in a simple color if you want a basic color output in it. This is one way to take a gray point and start playing with the areas. It will try to give you various kinds of castings in it, which works more like a gradient map of kind of a thing. Because as we see, as we change the areas, let me go to a good gray. See, you will see the changes in the red, a little in the greens, a little in the blues. And with the white point also, if it's the white points you have, you will see a drastic change in the areas. RGB, you have to keep it in the RGB segment. See, in white point, the more you go towards the white, darker areas, the more brighter image. Same goes reverse with the black point. The more you go to the blacker areas, the more casting it will bring. More darker areas, the more kind of a grading and color shift it will give. The more brighter area you go, it will go to the, it will try to cover up the darker area. So this is a basic way we can pull out the exposure, or we can create a basic color. Now next, one thing that we will do, now this is an image. Now I want to put this kind of a tone to this image. Now one has to first understand, one has to first clearly bring the exposures properly, so the matching is a little more easier done. Okay. Now what we do, we take a basic gradient. We take a basic gradient and create our 5 points of gradient. First 50%, $75, and 25. Now keep aside and keep the gradient open. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we take a gradient. Keeping the gradient open, I take another image and I start referring the sample colors. First, I will keep the black as it is, then I will take the other black and come to the best darkest point or shadow point, which I think is preferable for this image. Next, I will try to come to the midtones of the image, press OK. Then I will try to go to the highlights of the image a little more. And then I will try to go the highlights, most highlights of the image. Okay. You can always press to see the color value, the color values. Double click on the colors and you can see the color values of the hue, saturation, RGB, and you can make changes in it. Okay, now we have a base value over here. We'll close this image. Just shift it to soft light or color and reduce the opacity to around 30, or in soft light also 30. Now you can see there is a changes in colors and highlights. For taking the exact color, we have to always understand one thing: we should always have the exact exposure. This is a key factor of any kind of grading. If the exposure matches, then the colors and everything will match very predominantly. I've removed now you can see the difference. Now you can mask out the face as you want. Now let's do one more thing. Match the skin tones to get a better skin tone. Whenever we try to match the skin tone, first we take a best sample of the, or denote a skin tone, we first take a best sample of the midtones rather than the highlights and shadows. Try to take a good sample of the midtones. Don't let whites or blacks come in it too much, or highlights. Copy it, select it with control selection, keep it selected, select pixels. If you can't, then with the keyboard you can go to select pixels. Okay, now go to filter, blur and average. Go to filter, blur and take a average blur. Now you can see an average blur coming out of the image. Okay, now we go inside, we take a color chart. These are the basic color charts which is all over place. These are basic color reference palette which is present in internet and everywhere, where you can take a basic color and start seeing to it which is the nearby color it's matching to. First, second and third, I think second one will match very well. So what we do, we go to the eyedropper tool, take a color sampler and just click on that sample of the area. Okay, now you can see RGB color values have been given here. Can you see the RGB color values given here? Can you see
Yes.
the RGB color values given?
Yes, sir.
I am trying to take the second one. Okay, so 218, 169, 138. So there is a difference between 171 in the greens and 169 in the 145 in the blues. Baki the reds are fine. Okay. Now we go to curves layer, and try to match the color that has been given. We again take a point sample from that area with the hand tool and make a point. Now we have a point sample over here. Now red is already matched out, so we don't want to work with the red because it already has 218. Now we'll go to greens and try to bring it to 171. Okay. And the blues to 145. Now you can remove this tree. Now see, the casting is gone. We have better smoothen out color. Can you see the difference? It's a very subtle difference to bring good skin colors. Can you see the difference? Now you can always work with the luminosity layer and pull in a luminosity a little if you want to. Yeah. So can you see the difference? A little tinge of yellow cast is now gone. We are now more even to the proper skin color. If you want to match the color to a specific color, then this is the way, basically in commercial photography, this is the way we try to keep a even skin tone or even color tone. If we take multiple images also, we try to work with the base color and bring out these kind of colors, match out the colors. Any doubts about it? Shall I repeat the process or we'll go to another process?
Sir, once more, please.
Okay, so let's do 1 second. Wait, let me see if I have any other pictures. Okay, so this is an image. Is the image clearly visible? The image
Yes,
is
sir.
visible. Oh, okay, fine. We will first take a proper mid-tone area. Don't go for the highlights and shadows. We'll go for a proper mid-tone area. Copy it. Select the pixels. If you don't select the pixels, now what will happen? I will show you. And if you go for an average blur, it will try to take the blank pixels also. Like right now, it's in the blank pixels. Okay. If you don't select the pixel and try to put an average blur, what will it happen? I'll show you. It will turn to white because it's calculating the blank pixels also. So it's turning into white. So you have to always select the pixels. This kind of selection should be shown. Now if you go to blur and click average blur, you will get a perfect average blur. You can see we have got an average blur right now. Okay. Now what we do? We take the sampler chart. Can you see the sampler chart? Can you see the sample chart?
Yes, sir. Sir, is this available in Google?
It's available there. If you ask for color sample chart, it's available there. There are some other also, I will show you charts right now. You can work according to that also.
Okay.
Okay. So here we have a sample chart with us, a nearby sample chart with us. So we will see to it which color we want to match it. This is the color. This is the color if you want. This is a darker tone. No, I think we'll go for this color. Okay. Now what we do? We go to color picker and pick the colors. Now you can easily see RGB is given for us. Okay. Whenever you, this is the basic work of color sampler. It will pick up the point and give you a sample of the area. Now let me clear it once again and put a 5 by 5 sampler, 3 by 3 sampler. See, 3 by 3 sampler is giving something else. Let's go to average 5 by 5 sampler. Now, you can pinpoint also, or basically take a larger sample also. Let's just take a 5 by 5 sample. So we have 189, 155 and 138. We can see the samples there. We can see the samples over here. Now what we do, we go to the curves and try to match the samples according to here. So 189, 190, we want a point sample to be changed over here. Oh, okay, sorry. One more thing, just take a sample point where you can get a dot to work with. Okay, fine. So I have a sample point for me to work now. My first process is to come down to 190. It sometimes takes a little time, but see, this process I will be very specific. If you are going for specific magazine prints, okay, magazine prints and your hoarding prints, then only apply this kind of a tone, because there the sampling color is very important. If it's for social media, normal printing, don't take too much time about it,
It's for
because
commercial use.
commercial use, pure commercial use. Okay.
I understand, sir. You have not to continue this.
So there is a shift. Okay. We have 190, we know, sorry. 180. So it's 155, we want to 142. Blue channels. 130, 190. One 190. Now we can see we have 190, 140 to 119. We can see the changes over here. Can you see the changes over here?
Yes, sir.
Now see. Can you see the skin tone changing? Now we are getting a more vibrant, much proper texture. The white cast from the skin tone. Can you see the difference?
Yes, yes. A huge difference there.
Huh?
Yes.
So this is how we try to match the skin tone with a given chart. Okay?
Yes.
Any doubts about it?
No.
Hari, have you seen it? Oh, he's not present there. He wanted to see this the most. Now let's come to a little part of understanding. Now, few ways to color grade a certain image or create a certain mood of a certain image. First and foremost, let's go with the basic thing which is called, but if you are using 2000 CC version 2007 and 17 and above, okay, then the best way to work in combination is go convert it into a smart object. Straight away go to camera raw and just define a color you want on your image, on your background image. Keep it okay, no issues. Now we have an option called in CC select subject. It will try to select out the subject for you. You can refine the area if you want to a little more. And just invert and put in a mask. It's better you always take an image upwards and try to mask that. I will tell you why. Now, sorry, mask that image. So we have a proper image over here right now. Now what we can do to match up the color, it's already in a yellow tone. We can go to photo filters and put in a little yellow inside the image. So now the skin tone is also going well. Now a simple way to enhance your image, go to curves, go to screen. It will increase the contrast of your image, reverse it with Control I, and now take a mask brush. If it's black, it should be white here. Reduce the opacity to around flow to around 5, and just try to bring out the highlights from the image. We have already have very good midtones. Yeah, good select. Let's take a soft round edge where its hardness is 0. Okay, now we'll reduce it down. Now you can see a basic definition in the image from flat. Now you can soften out with the feather around 10 to 15 points. Now you can see there is a definition in the image. Now what we can do, just take a solid color, put black in it, it's fine. Now we go to the bucket and take the gradient and put the gradient to solid and take black and white over here, black and white gradient, no gradient else, black and white gradient, and pull it down the area. You will now have a nice, beautiful gradient fall of the image. If you take it longer, it will go longer. From center, if you take more deeper, it will go more downwards. See, now we have a gradient over here proper. All of. Now one interesting thing that we can do, now we already have a selected image over here. Now what we can do, take a blank layer from here. Okay, take a blank layer from here. I have sent the brush links to the group. You see, I have sent 3 brushes, brush links today in the group. You can easily use that brush links to create such an effect. Now I have a brush link for rays. Okay, take white, just put it. You have a nice, beautiful brush over here. And if you want to blur and diffuse it, if you want to reduce the opacity, you can reduce the opacity. Better than that, we try to give it a blending mode and see what we can get with the blending mode. Yeah, this is looking nice. Now if you want to add a little clouds also, don't do anything. I have given the brushes of the link of the cloud brushes also in the group. Just add a little clouds for the taste. Let's take some other brushes. Keep it behind that. Just diffuse it or Gaussian blur it a little. And just put a nice overlay. So can you see the difference? Now we can mask out. Either we can mask, bring in the colors on the. We have 2 options now. Yeah. Either we can mask in the colors in the car and bring the yellow tone in it. To go with the mood, or we can mask out to keep the color tones as it is. Any doubts about this? So now we can see with simple few quick things we can easily drastically change the look of our image. Rajiv, any doubts?
No, sir.
Process is good and fast and easy.
Yeah.
This is a basic way to go with gradients. Okay. Now, if you don't have a CC where you can go inside the camera raw, we can do the same. We will keep the clouds and this intact like this. We will just remove it. We will take an image. We will keep it intact. We will just go to first take the base image. Okay. First take the base image, select the base image. Now we will go to color range. Okay, we will go to color range and start picking out colors. Take a base color and start picking out colors from that range. Now we have a base, nice base made. Already we have selected them, and now you can simply go take this, make a copy and make a base of it. Now we have a base of the clouds and areas, adjoining areas. Now we can go simple to once to solid colors. Take a nice color and put the blending mode to color. Now we have the top image. Okay, we have the curves and we have this. Now what we can do with this color, instead of color I will try to put in an overlay, punch out more color. See, if you don't have CC also, you can easily grade it here. You can fiddle out with any colors that you wish to. Now you have the option, if you want a blue sky, if you want a lighter sky, or instead of color we can play with the gradient map. Put it down to overlay. And as I have told, we can easily fiddle out with the areas. Now I don't want a brown, I want an orange over here. Okay. And I don't want a pure black over here. I will take the black section. I don't want a pure black. I will put on to a neutral gray color or a white color to enhance it more. See. Now you understand how gradient means your gradient works. The last portion, the way you put in, it will put on the shadows. The center portion, whatever you will hit in, will put on the midtones. And this is for the highlights. The last portion we will go with the highlights. As we have a lesser amount of highlights on this. Now we can easily play with the blending option. If you want a darker tone, go to multiply, you will have it darker. It will give proper softer light, will give much more softer. Screen will give you a brighter image. Saturation will give you dual tone with the according to colors will provide colors. Luminosity will remove and try to make it the mist of the grays. This is how we can play with the blending option to bring out the, I think overlay and soft light is one of the best versions to work for such kind of a image. Any doubts, any confusion about this? All clear about this? Okay, fine. Now let's come to one more image. Can you see the image?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first we will take a channel mixer. Yesterday, as I explained, first we'll try to put in lighten and try to bring the colors for the background. We select our subject and just make a reverse copy of it. Okay, now we try to play with the and try to. Now what we do, we want only the backgrounds to be taken, not the photo. We just clip mask. We clip mask. So whatever the selected area, that will only get clipped in the image. Okay. Now instead of lightness, as we are using lightness, so it's removing the color, we will change the blending mode. Suppose now I clip mask down, sorry, let me take in bits. Now it will go fine, clip the mask. Now I can change the composition. I want a darker, I want a softer, I want a very this kind now, nightish kind, late evening kind of feeling. I can go to multiply. Lighten, it will try to keep the colors intact. Now with lighten, you can do one thing, we can take a curves layer or levels layer and just put it down to multiply and pull it down the fill a little. Now we have a very subdued color. Now what we can go? We can go with the warmed color. Now see, you can see the changes in the colors. Now it's your desired choice. If you want the reds not in the shadows, you can always brush out, or you can lessen it out. A basic way to enhance your image, if you have a good exposure, go to curves, go to screen, go back, bring your brush flow to around 5 to 10. 5 is sufficient, or lesser than that will also work fine. Go to 5, take a proper brush. And just pull out the highlights. You will see a difference. Now just feather it out a little. You can see the distinction now in the face, pulling out. Reduce the flow if you find it too much then, okay? So this is how we can basically now, if you want to, just bring out the subject very strongly, just to, as I told, just take a solid color and just go to the mask. Instead we can use a radial. Now we can see there is a difference. Now one thing, let me explain. In color balance, we have two types of color balance. You have to understand how these two things work in color balance. Can you see both the images? Can you see both the images side by side?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, whenever we go to color balance, you will see there is two kinds of things given there. Okay. One is your regular color balance and one is preserved luminosity. Okay. Now we have three areas over here: shadows, midtones, highlights. Now, if I put a red like this over here and just make a copy in this image and I preserve luminosity, you can see the difference. You can see the difference between both the images.
Yes.
In luminosity, what it will try in your normal color balance, if you put a color without preserving the luminosity, it will just try to encode a color. Now in this, what it will try to do, it will try to preserve the midtones, highlights and grays, and then start putting a color inside. Now see, if I, with the same color balance, then let me reset it once, reset it twice. Okay, and let's go to this balance and this image, reset it. One is with preserve. Now I go to highlight shadows. Now you see in shadows, the darker area is getting darker with the color. But if I go without the luminous thing, it will just put a flat out color. It's not working on the shadows. It's just putting a flat out color. This is the difference. Now same goes with the highlights. Okay. Let's come down to the highlight part. Let's come down here without this. Can see it's trying to restore the highlights and put the colors in the highlights mode. In the other image, it's putting a flat coat of colors. Got the difference? Can see the difference?
Yes.
So what does luminosity does for us? We have to understand that also. Suppose I take a plain color, solid color, red color. Let me take a red color. Now if I put a color, it will straightforwardly color. Now if I add a luminosity, you can see the midtones, the highlight, the shadows. It will try to regain these colors and try to put a whatever color you input, it will try to regain this color and then put a color on that color. This is a basic difference. Okay, using if you don't use preserve luminosity, it will try to put this kind of a flat color. If you preserve the luminosity, it will take the luminosity of the colors and then try to put the color on the luminosity, preserving the luminosity as much as it can. Got the difference? So let's come one more thing is this black and white filter. What black and white filter does to us? Black and white filter, if we put in black and white filter, it will change the image to black and white. Okay. Now you have the blending modes to bring it to color with like soft light, color, luminosity. As we put in luminosity, it is black and white. As we put in luminosity, it will bring out the colors. As for so many days I am trying, luminance is a base of white, gray and black. So white, gray and black is that it's not a base of any color. So white, gray and black if we put in and go to luminance, then we can easily get the colors. Now from black and white, we can adjust the color. Suppose we go to reds. It will try to bring the reds, darks and whites up. Yellows, it will try to bring the darkness of the non with the greens. Same goes with hue saturation. If we go with hue saturation and put the luminance right now. Now we go to so instead of normal, we can always work very better in luminance. But with luminance, now in luminance, what's the difference in luminance and regular normal? This is your normal, this is your luminosity. It's trying to enhance the colors, preserving the whites, blacks and everything. Let's go to the greens. It won't change the color, it will try to just shift the colors in whites, blacks and other parts. Now if I take it to a normal, it will change the color. Got it? Any doubts?
No, sir. It's clear.
So this is how we work, base work with our colors and play with our colors with various kinds of filters, channels, curves, gradients. As I explained gradients yesterday, we can easily create any color. Now let's take a gradient once again. And sorry, let's take a gradient once again, last part. Gradient map. Let's come to luminous. Now luminous, what it will do, as you don't have a black over here, so it will never produce a black. So let's take a luminance. This is a luminance. It's a two-part luminance. See, luminance will always work on the grays. Now, if we go to soft light, now it will try to generate color in your image. Now, if you want to omit the black part, you can always go to the shadow part and put it on a gray scale or put it in a white scale. Don't go to a white scale, better go to a gray scale. And if you want to highlight the image, you can go to a gray scale again. Now, see, this is a balanced way to bring out a single digit color. Now it's up to you. You want basically for the chocolatey skin color, we can always go this way to bring a nice chocolate skin color, which is more in trends these days. Now, one thing you can do, you can take 2 copies of this. Okay, mask out 1 copy. Let's keep 1 copy for the background, and let's mask out this also. Let's mask out the first, bring out the backgrounds very strongly, which is our core purpose. And with the reduced opacity, we can always bring the colors, skin colors. Now, my nice way to enhance the image, if you want the skin colors, go to curves, clip mask it. Instead of using a regular curve, we can go with a gray curve. Just put in these 2 lines in the center, you will get a proper gray curve. Okay. Now put it into soft light, and now enhance, you will see the luminance only enhance. It will only work on the midtones, it won't work in the shadows and highlights. If you go with a normal curve, it will work in the shadows and highlights as well. It will work in the shadows and highlights as well, but with the gray curve, it will only work on the midtones. You can always reduce the So this is how we end today's session.